All right, folks, welcome to the second installment of the Deep Dive All 22 Film Study. Ian and I have got some more excellent clips to dig into. Texas A&M. Yeah, we're going to continue this victory lap for a while. It was a very enjoyable game on multiple levels. Ian, any thoughts before we go roll the film?
We're going to get to some of the ones that people are probably wondering about that were big plays. You're going to see exactly how that went down in today's installment. But, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and you're going to find out why Trevor Gooseby is one of the unsung heroes of this victory. Yes. Amazing play from our left tackle in this game. Here's another amazing play. Go to Inside Texas. Join for $1 for the first week. New members only. Best conversation for the Longhorns on the internet. Best conversation about a lot of stuff. It's a great place, great community. A lot of good stuff in there. And we welcome all of you to join us in that conversation. We want you to stay at this part of this conversation. Bring us your likes, bring us your subscriptions, and of course, give us your comments. Let's take a victory lap together. Let's enjoy this big resounding win over the Aggies. And let's roll the tape. All right, here we go. Fourth quarter, 1st and 10, 9:07 on the clock. Ball's on the Texas 37. Ian, are you interested in seeing a little flawless pocket presence and pocket manipulation from Arch Manning?
Always.
Let's run it. You're going to see an amazing job here by Manning. Dodging pressure, resetting laterally to his left. And if you guys watched the other deep dive on Film Study, you knew that one of the quarterbacks in this competition cannot reset to his left and throw an accurate ball. But Texas has one who can. Arch Manning is going to reset, dodge the rusher that gets free on Connor Hudson, and he's going to throw a beautiful little touch shot to Jack Endries right here on a little out concept.
This is really like a classic and kind of lost form of quarterbacking, where everybody was like, you know what? I'm sick of trying to find a tall guy who can keep calm and poise in chaos, make subtle movements, and go through a progression and hit somebody. Just give me somebody fast, and I'll let them wheel around and we'll make it work, which works pretty well, especially at the college level. But then when you see this, you're just like, oh, yeah, there's a higher form of this that we're not treated to on a regular basis in college. So enjoy it while you got it, Texas fans.
So a little pull protection here. We're going to have DJ Campbell pull out. Connor Robertson. I mixed up my Connors. Good thing I didn't call him Sarah Connor from the Terminator series. He is going to be responsible for 17. 17's firing up the field. This isn't an easy block, but Mr. Robertson needs to bring it a little bit more. He needs to actually be more driving here than trying to pass block because 17's not going to wait for him. 17's going to get around. Fortunately, he doesn't have a direct line. He's got to round it just a little bit. And that gives Arch the opportunity to reset laterally, then step back up into the pocket and just drop a little teardrop. It's a beautiful throw. Watch this. Reset. Boom. That's pretty, man. That's like legit quarterbacking right there.
So I love that route concept too. We've seen Sark eat people alive with this for a few years now, with the rounded out from often a slot receiver, in this case, the tight end Jack Endries. He fakes like the over route going one way, and then they're like, oh, here comes the tight end on the over route, but then back out into wide open. What was the term you used the other day? Ranches.
Veritable ranches?
Veritable ranches for Endries to raise stock in.
Yeah, the thing about Endries is he's not particularly fast. He's got good feet. He's quick. Yep. He's coordinated. He's got good body control. And that counts for a lot. I mean, the all-time receiving leader in the NFL at tight end, Tony Gonzalez. And he didn't have, obviously very athletic, but he didn't have these incredible gross traits. He didn't run a 4.3 40, but he had these more subtle things that are really valuable in a tight end. And this is just a great game by Endries and a really nice throw and reset by Arch. Top-notch stuff right here.
All right, this next one, Paul, this was one of my favorite designs in the game. I was expecting Arch run all the way. This was the first play of the fourth quarter after that delightful drone show. And when they went under center, I was like, oh, okay, I guess they're just going to try to hammer it in. But it's 1st and 2, first play of the fourth quarter on the A&M 2-yard line, obviously. And what they actually run is the Nick Townsend fly sweep from 12 personnel. Connor's got it all drawn up here. There's a lot of really good blocks on this play. I love that using Townsend for I believe this is the first time they did this all year for Townsend. And it's easy to forget he ran like a sub 11 second 100 meter in high school, extremely fast. He's faster than a lot of receivers, even though he's this year. If you were introduced to him by this year in Texas football, you're like, he's like a fullback. He's a bludgeon because he blocks so physically. But guess what? He's really fast too. And Paul, we're going to get into the end zone clip in a second. And you try to highlight for everybody some of these blocks.
I will. And before we do that, I want to talk about what A&M is probably thinking here, because one of our staples here in goal line is either arch run or spider 2Y banana, man. I think that is something that we're showing here with Townsend before he goes in motion. I think he's going to release, potentially release on a short route. Wisner's going to go out on the flat, and Manning's going to roll, right? And we're going to create that option that we kept running in the goal line. And then Manning has exactly, great job, producer. And Manning has a run throw option, which we did very successfully, right?
Yeah.
This is a great twist on this. It's completely unexpected by A&M. And you know what? I don't fault them. It was unexpected by everybody in the crowd because everybody went, ooh, like when it happened, because you saw it immediately open up and you just went, that's touchdown. And that is a touchdown by play call and by play design. And it's really great to see stuff like that from Sark in the goal line where we'd had some issues.
I immediately talked some smack on Sark's behalf to the non-believers in our group chat who were frustrated with earlier calls.
Well, let's see a little belief. You know what also fosters belief? Blocking. I want you to watch big Trevor Goosby, who had an amazing game against A&M, a dominant game. I want you to watch his down block here on the A&M big. He is going to wash this guy out. Cassius Howell, number 9, right next to him, for once does not fire up the field recklessly. He actually plays edge correctly, and that's part of what allows this play to work. And then I want you to watch Jack Endries here on the end, right next to Goosby. He gets a great block on number 54, Lockhart, the Aggie linebacker. He's going to wall him off and drive him, actually. And we got a nice seal block here from the receiver to help create that soft corner. Endries not only came up clutch in terms of pass catching, Ian, I graded this his best run blocking and pass blocking grade as a Longhorn. And you see this here. That down block, did you guys see how far Trevor Goosby took this guy and took him on a walk? You see 3 Aggies who don't have an angle here. They're flailing. And then I want you to watch Jack Endries take care of this linebacker, drive him into the paint. You're done for. And that's an easy touchdown, man. That's how you draw it up. But you can draw up all sorts of beautiful schemes, but if you don't get good play side blocks, it's not going to go.
I'm going to probably become enamored with the possibilities of an Endries Townsend 12 personnel package for next year.
We got to convince Mr. Jack Endries to return. And
that's part one. That's part one.
We got to convince him he can raise his NFL stock and that we will actually throw to him next year. Fourth quarter, 2nd and 3, 2 minutes on the clock. Ball's on the Texas 24, and we're going to ice this thing with a Wisner explosive to cap off a wonderful day by Wisner and a very heady job by the Texas offensive line. They weren't always perfect, Ian, but when A&M's trying to stunt, when they're trying to Olay guys, try to Matador guys, trying to swim move guys and create penetration, you can get some negative plays inflicted on you, which we actually had in the run game, but we punish them. And that is the key. We repeatedly punish them. And here's a great example of just handing the ball off up the pipe and getting a lot of hats on hats. These aren't dominant blocks at the point of attack, Ian. It's just letting A&M's penchant for penetration and attacking work against them. It's a little bit of jiu-jitsu and judo here.
Okay. Penchant. I remember being very eager to see Wisner not go out of bounds. But it's like the producer will probably get on me if I don't call it inside zone duo, whatever. it's a very downhill zone run. They pull its injuries around, right? You've got an initial, is this a zone read? Are they going to run arch around the perimeter on us to pick up a first down and help them drain clock? Nope. Trap block by the tight end. And then just right down Main Street. They actually got, you're right that they mostly just collected guys, but they got a little bit of movement up the middle as well. Mostly falls down.
Yeah, A&M created some of that. You're going to see number 5 right there in the middle. He's going to try to swim move a guy and go to his left.
Yeah.
Number 17. I mean, you should be trying to anchor and hold up right here. You know what's coming.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to matador guys? Why are you trying to like put moves on and inflict a negative play? You know, you end up getting drove. And, great job there by the guard. I want you to watch Gooseby here because he gets an initial double team and then he's going to dominate number 15 on the edge. So watch Gooseby, another example of just tremendous play. Boom.
Oh, 27. Boom. Yeah.
That actually was a replacing linebacker, not the edge.
Yeah.
So watch this. Gooseby's going to take a hard step inside and help out his buddy, Mr. Hudson. And then he's going to immediately move those sweet feet and take care of number 27. Boom. And drive. He's not just content to wall him off. That's awesome play. That is elite left tackle play. Gooseby was a hero of this game. And Mr. Wisner pops out of there. He's running the same speed the whole time. There's no extra gear at the end. But you know what? Great vision and great heart. And he does the smart thing here, Ian, and does not go out of bounds.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Gooseby, another one that retain at all costs.
We need to pay that guy because I think he's really coming into his own, and he's always had the traits. He's always had the length. He's always had the feet. Hey, let's get this guy a little stronger in the offseason. Let's actually do that for a lot of our team. If we do that, I think we'll be in a good place. Hey, folks, I've extolled the great virtues of Gabe Winslow, mortgage man extraordinaire, so many times, and so many of you have taken advantage of it to your benefit. And you can reach him at 832-557-1095. I have a unique opportunity right now for a few Longhorns who are quick on the dial, quick on the text at that number. And here's what it is. Gabe is one of the highest and most successful originators in the entire state of Texas. He's been given some incentives by a local lender where basically, to put a little more money in his pocket, they're going to take some bips off of the loan and actually do it under market. What Gabe has decided he wants to do in celebration of the Texas A&M victory and a wonderful Longhorn season is to pass that to you. So what does that mean? If you call Gabe and you want to do a refi or a mortgage on your house, he's going to take those bips that they're throwing towards him and he's going to apply it to you. He's not going to make any extra money. He's going to give that savings to you. First come, first serve. Let's go. 832-557-1095.
All right. First quarter, 2nd and 5 with 8:40 on the clock on the Aggie 20. We're back to brick wall defense again.
Paul. Brick wall. This is good. This is elite graphics, man. This is a really good gimmick that we've got, Ian. I think people really appreciate it.
We're going to ride this into the ground. All right. What we're going to see on this play is just really sound defense. It's not, if we have some other flashy plays coming up, but this one is just terrific positioning of basic modern cover 3. You got an Aggie guy flying up the seam, and you're going to see Texas actually leverage it in a way where it cannot be completed. And ultimately, Marcel Reed, it's a throwaway, isn't it?
Sure is. We could show you some interesting action here. I really like this from Grayson Littleton. Look how he is going to get a little piece of that seam receiver to help knock him off stride. And then he's going to sprint out to the flat and turn immediately, right? So he's got that lower flat. See how he turns and presents himself? If Marcel had done his one read business and tried to hit that guy who looked like he might be coming open, I'm talking about the outside receiver, Littleton would have been in a robber position there. So I really love that subtlety. That's something we have not been doing when we went in our little lost in the wilderness phase of defense the last 5 games. This subtle stuff is what makes defense work. It's being bigger than the sum of your parts. And that's really a good job from Littleton there. And look at the awareness. Look at all the eyes on Marcel Reed, and look at all the bodies in the middle of the field, Ian.
2 between the hash marks.
Look at that.
With good depth.
With good depth. 3 between the hash marks, my friend.
Sure. Also, they bring McDonald down and drop Taft deep, and you can see the difference. This is the kind of thing you only see in all 22, where he keeps an eye on both seam threats and rotates his hips to make sure that he picks up the most dangerous. Normally, like, you don't know how a post safety plays, except for whether or not maybe if you see the ball go deep and they are in position or not. But a little more heady back there. Would love to see McDonald come back another year and nail some of these finer points down as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And we did such a good job of just keeping a cap on top of this A&M speed. And I'll tell you what, people have tried to diminish the A&M receivers. You see them live, those guys can fly.
Yeah.
But a little bit one note. And, you take away some of their favorite routes, and there's not a lot of diversity there. Hey, nice 3-man rush here. You're going to get a little late pressure from Cole Brevard just working hard on that double team. I mean, I don't think it affects Marcel Reed's throw. It's just there's nowhere to throw the ball. But I like seeing the big man work in the middle there despite the double team. And it's a good indication of heart and effort and really kind of giving your all for the game.
This game was the classic example of you have to assume a certain level of focus and fight in a rivalry game, even if you haven't seen it. Like, we were both like, well, if they do this, they have a chance, but they got to play differently than they have the last few weeks. Well, they played differently than they had the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think a level of headiness and awareness that we just hadn't seen. And it's really encouraging. And I wish we had a little more football that was meaningful so that we could really see what this could be. Did we get a bat of the ball here from Burke?
Probably. He was credited with a pass deflection, I think, and he blocked a kick, obviously.
Yeah, he did. He did get a piece of that. Even if that had been completed, it would have been, fairly irrelevant gain.
Yeah, everybody has zone eyes. They're going to cover that up real fast. This is what good cover 3 looks like that we hadn't seen in a couple weeks.
All right, Ian, one of the things I love about college football is the fact that you can go from the doghouse to the penthouse with just one big game against a rival. And you know who our best coverage guy was once he went in the game?
Kobe Black.
Kobe Black. That is the correct answer. And we're going to show you a great example of what he did here. This isn't the Kobe Black interception, but it's equally heady play. And it's a great example of squat press coverage here. Third quarter, 2nd and 6, 11-17 on the clock. Ball is on the A&M 26. And we're going to see A&M try to get Mario Craver out there for a little sit route, and then he's going to try to turn it up and turn on those jets. Well, we're not having it. We're not backing off. And our guys underneath are trusting the zone behind them. Look at those 2 deep guys down back at safety. We're trusting our depth. And we're going to say, we're sitting on your routes. And we're not, the way to choke these guys off is not to play off and scared. It's to be in their face and trust the depth of coverage behind us. So you're going to see a great hit on Mario Craver. I think it probably comes up a little bit more impressively on the behind scene. Anything you want to comment on before we go to that?
Yeah, before we go to that, show the initial look, Mr. Producer, please. They did a great job in this game. It looks like you've got Taft down and McDonald back. This is a classic single high coverage presentation. And then they bail from this into Tampa 2. And that's just very different leverage in those 2 coverages. So the routes you're expecting to be open against one are not there, as it turns out, when the corner is squatting and he weighs 200 pounds and he's waiting to see what you're about to get a better look at on your receiver.
Yeah, I like also Kobe's confidence in passing off his receiver to the safety. He's not trailing that receiver like, oh, I probably better stick with him a couple of steps. He's like, no, you're not relevant to me anymore. I've got this flat. Oh, Craver, you're going to catch the ball there? Well, I've got something for you. So let's take a look at the behind view here.
You can tell it's a good hit there, but it was a great hit.
Yeah.
As you'll see on this.
And not flagged somehow. Apparently every good hit draws an automatic flag now in college football, and you just have to review it. Boom. Textbook. There you go.
Up and through.
You could see the excitement of Black. The minute he made it, he's like, I'm going to jump up and tell him about it. Great job. And that's what you got to do when you have diminutive receivers like this who can really move, like Craver. He's probably 170 pounds soaking wet, and you've got to make them feel the physical aspects of this game. And the Texas secondary did a great job of that.
All right, our last brick wall defense, fourth quarter, 1st and 10, 3:46 on the clock. The game is probably over, but if A&M scores here, it's a little bit interesting, and they are not going to score because Michael Taff is going to pickpocket Marcel one read just in front of the end zone. He's going to freelance a little bit here, Paul. He's in cover 2, but he's going to bail out of that because he sees where the ball is going and undercut this. And what do you see just off the bat before we get into some of the other hidden Easter eggs of this play?
A lot of eyes on that quarterback, Ian. Good depth. And we're going to show you from the behind view, not only a really great pressure from a young true freshman, but we're also going to show you the rhombus of coverage.
Oh, yeah.
The producer is going to draw up for us. So let's look at the behind view here. Look at Justice Terry here lined up over in a 3 technique on the guard. He's just going
to across 71. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. Justice Terry, true freshman. Longhorn fans are always like, where's Justice Terry? Here's Justice Terry. Boom. I'm going to get my hand on you. The help from Trey Zune is too late. And he's going to get nice pressure on Marcel Reed. You always want to get a hit on the quarterback, right? When you can, especially with an honest 4-man rush. And then as this ball is released, stop here, producer. Draw the rhombus of excellence. Or is that a parallelogram? I think it's a rhombus. Is it a rhombus? I don't know. It's a trapezoid-like shape. I haven't done geometry in a long time. But notice here, all the eyes. Great drop here from Trey Moore. He's at the front of the rhombus.
It's a trapezoid. I believe trapezoid is the right word.
All right. Well, we're going to call it the rhombus because I just like saying that.
Great.
But notice that there just isn't a window here.
No.
This ball's getting picked.
Yeah.
And Taff is making a great instinctive play to rotate over. He sees what's happening. He sees that route developing. But notice Jelani McDonald in the back has depth as well. I mean, this is just perfect coverage. And it's an example of Marcel Reed having a read and our zone concept playing aggressively and reacting to what he's seeing. Boom.
Great zone positioning all night, as we've seen. Paul, why didn't we see that the last few weeks? Why did that suddenly flip on for this game?
We had lots of answers. I have one answer that's succinct that we might be able to jettison and improve upon in the offseason. But I think that, the interesting question is, how did we solve in 6 days of prep what had been plaguing us for 6 weeks? What's your thought?
I can only surmise that the players were more engaged in this one. I know that they spent a lot of extra. They've been prepping A&M for weeks and just studying them and preparing. But that doesn't explain why you would follow good fundamentals 1 week and not the next. And so they were locked in and focused for this game and attentive to detail in a different way. And I don't know if it was just a rivalry game or if there was anything else going on, but it was very strange.
Strange, but encouraging in a way, because this is something we need to see more of, and we need to carry this forward. Obviously, some of these players will not be back, but we've got to turn this into institutional knowledge.
Yeah. We saw good things in this regard from guys that are for sure coming back. So that's very encouraging.
Well, Ian, that is our second installment of the Texas win over Texas A&M. A great home victory and a dominant second half over the Aggies. Marred their otherwise perfect season, playing the dregs of the SEC and the dregs of Indiana, Notre Dame. But I think it's a really encouraging win because of some of the fundamental play that we saw, but also the intensity, the quality of the game plan from the Texas coaching staff. I think hat tips all around.
Whatever happens this offseason, probably cannot understate how valuable it was to have such a program and community morale raising victory at the end.
I agree. Speaking of community, Ian,
Community.
there's one you got to join. Inside Texas. It's where we write. Join and sign up today. $1 for the first week. New members only. We'd love to have you there. We'd love you to be a part of the conversation. And we love you guys. You're a great audience. We really appreciate all your comments. We really appreciate your likes. We really appreciate your subscriptions to this channel. And we really appreciate you taking this and forwarding it to your buddies, including your A&M friends. I know they've got a couple who might want to learn some things about their football team. Ian, without any further ado, hook 'em horns, and we'll see you next week.